Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the Ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
This is America, the greatest, best ever country in the world. You have a right to disagree, but my suggestion would be don't. Just leave. Good morning, everybody. Here comes Kate Smith and God Bless America, followed by a Patriot with our Pledge of Allegiance. Come on, Patriots, get out of bed. Good morning. And a good morning to you and yours. I'm Zeb Bell, Zeb at the Ranch on a Thursday, the last Thursday of June. Holy moly. And, of course, brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations, serving you with the best of tires for your vehicles. Stop in and see them today. Along with some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. Right now, let's go to the phone line and have our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning.
Well, good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, buddy, go answer that phone. And right now we're going to go to the weather forecast, brought to everybody by K&R Rental at 256 South, 600 west of Hayburn. Hello, Roger and the crew. Turning the key in the lock early in the morning, about 7 o'clock, to better serve you with the rental of the best tools and equipment you might need to finish any kind of a project. Now, I don't care if you need gardening tools, lawn tools, you're doing some kind of a construction project, whatever, they've got everything over there for your rental. Call them, 678-3122. The very best serving you, K&R Rental. And right now, here's Gina with the weather.
It's another beautiful day as we are getting ready to finish up with the very last week of June and making our way towards the weekend. Mostly sunny skies for today, looking at a high of 78, slight breeze, winds out of the southwest at about 6 miles an hour. For tonight, we are expecting mostly cloudy skies with a low of 51. Back to mostly sunny as we get ready for the weekend, high of 78, partly cloudy for tomorrow night with a low of 50. As we kick off the Rupert 4th of July celebrations on Saturday, partly sunny skies with a high of 82, overnight low of 53. Then for Sunday, partly sunny and 86. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zeb.
Gina, thank you so much. Brought to everybody by K&R Rental at 256 South, 600 west of Hayburn. Yes, sirree, they're right there on the Burley Paul Highway. You can't miss them. Stop in or give them a call at 678-3122. Hey, Merv May, come on in here. Let's sell some cattle.
All right, hey, good set of steer calves there, here to get all our 31, 1.5, 31, 1.5.
Oh, that's the chant of the world's best auctioneer. I believe that's true. Burley Livestock Sale Yard, Merv May, along with Cade Rogge and Lance Udy. Today is sale day at 11 o'clock at 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Number to call for cattle consignments and sale information, 678-9411. The sale that works for you. Here's a partial list of some of the cattle going going through the ring today. Alan Kunzler up at Park Valley is bringing in 2 semi-loads of butcher cows. Brant Hammond out of Tremonton area, semi-load of butcher cows. Eric Kasel out at Rogerson. Hello, Eric. They're bringing in about 35 head of 700 to 800 pound yearlings. Butcher cows coming in from Acme Dairy and Antelope Hills Dairy, and brackets out there at Three Creek bringing in about 12 real good bulls. All of this and more starting at 11 o'clock this morning at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley, 678-9411. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, hey, good set of steer calves there. Here to get all 31, 1.5, 31, 1.5, 32, 2.5, 3.5, 134, 4.5, 5.5, 5.5, 135, 50, 135, selling $1.35. Zeb Bell gets bottom again.
I'll tell you what, that's fine with me. Good price, fair price. Hey, by the way, I want to remind you that this note was just sent to me this morning, early. The Burley Lions Club is going to present a patriotic program called America on Parade. It's going to be this Sunday, the 30th, from 6 to 8 p.m. at the King Fine Arts Center, and admission is free. Love that word. That's coming up on this Sunday. Don't forget that. Calls are welcome and appreciated. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Today is lunch day, Zeb's Lunch Bunch Day, and we're going to be over there at Denny's Restaurant at 611 North Overland in Burley, and we urge you to join us. Why? Because I'll tell you in a minute. Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley, America's Diner, and they also have another location at 291 Pole Line Road in Twin Falls. Now, they've got brand new menu choices. Oh, delicious. You like breakfast? You got to try those strawberry crepes. Oh, my goodness, that's good. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to be there at 11:30 for Zeb's Lunch Bunch, and we'd like you to be there because Deanne and I and Denny's are going to be providing a special treat for the Lunch Bunchers. So we'll see you at Denny's Restaurant at 11:30 today at Denny's. And our thanks for the folks that put up all the gift certificate drawings: Walmart, Smith's Foods, Hanson Mortuary, Stokes Groceries, Doug Martin, and Denny's. We'll see you there. Real quick, too, I want to remind you about our friends at Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. We'll be talking to Rita later on this morning. Absolutely underline that word, all your heating, cooling, and electrical needs, and service provided to you by people that really know their business. As a matter of fact, Ramsey Heating and Electric in business, over 6 decades serving you, opening the doors at 7:30 to 5 Monday through Friday, the very best. Ramsey Heating and Electric in Burley. Caller, good morning to you.
And a good morning to you, too. You know, last night's debate reminded me of going to the circus. Only problem is they had way too many clowns.
You know, Keith, actually, I'm going to get into that at some length this morning, and Wheels, we got a little feedback there, but it was kind of, in my opinion, a Sesame Street for grown-ups. It was just kind of ridiculous the way the whole thing was constructed, and there was a lot of absolutely ridiculous material that was put out in front of the American public, and it was the first of 2 debates, the second one being tonight, and honestly, as low as it went last night, without very much energy or enthusiasm, I hope it can't go much lower tonight.
You know, my wife doesn't say, she never hardly ever said anything bad about anybody. But this morning she told me, she said, Elizabeth Warren reminded her of the school teacher you used to tell about when you were young. If you didn't do exactly what you were supposed to do, she went around and rapped you on the knuckles. And I thought that was a very, very good analogy there, because this angry woman, I don't know where she's going.
Well, I do. I do, and I think everybody does. She's going to make a concentrated effort to try to become the President of the United States, and she's going to fall well short. Keith, I'm glad you broke the ice. I've got another caller. I got to do another commercial, and call back later on if you would. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I will do that.
All right, sir. Hey, caller, I'll be right with you, I promise. I want to remind everybody this afternoon I'm going to be over there at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. You bet I am, at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. If you've got all the aching and the paining and you're recouping from a surgery or an accident, look no further. Get a hold of them today. Nick Greenwell and all the physical therapists absolutely do a phenomenal job of helping you get back to being you. All you have to do is call them. Make an appointment, 678-1191, 678-1191. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. I'll see you over there this afternoon. Oh, and by the way, too, real quick, I want to say a big shout out to Jake and the whole crew at Rain for Rent. You know, irrigation season, boy, they're just absolutely kind of said, we're dedicated and ready to go. And they do such a phenomenal job for all of their clients. I urge you to get a hold of them today. Rain for Rent, of course, and the telephone number to call, 438-5065. That number again, 438-5065. They're a Reinke Diamond dealer, and they have some of the most dedicated sales and service people serving you. They're located at 134 South 600 West of Paul, and believe me, anything with irrigation, they can and they will help you at Rain for Rent, 438-5065. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. That wonderful patriotic program that you mentioned minutes ago, there are actually two performances of it. The doors open at 5:15, and the program starts from 6 o'clock and goes to 7. Then there's a break, and there's another performance from 8 to 9.
Okay. I'm glad you discerned that for me. I just barely got the note handed to me before I went on the air this morning, so I really appreciate that.
Oh, I'm so glad they gave it to you. The other thing is, some of the songs that we are singing remind me very, very much of the way you love our country and the way you talk about our country.
I appreciate that, because I'll tell you something, Linda, I'm not going to change my attitude on this. They can call me any kind of dirty name or with connotations that are negative about me being very proud of this country, and I'm proud to be a citizen. I'm proud that I live here. I'm so glad I don't live anywhere else, and quite frankly, I feel the way I mentioned in the opening remarks. If you don't like it, you have a right to have your opinion, but I would make the assumption that if you don't like it, just leave.
Yeah, really. I think the folks that are performing also feel that same way. We've had a wonderful time rehearsing, and I hope everyone enjoys the program.
Well, if you're involved with your lovely, beautiful voice, to which I also say I hope you're going to be at Lunch Bunch, I know the program and the presentation will be number one, and I got a whole bunch of things to go through here, but I want to say thank you and God bless. Have a wonderful Independence Day.
I will. God bless you, you folks too.
All right. Thank you so much. There is a wonderful lady with a beautiful voice. Thank you very much, Linda Croft. I want to remind you, I'm going to go down the list of the 10 Democrats that were involved in that so-called debate last night. I'm going to talk to you about that in just a minute. And call me if you don't agree or if you do agree, okay, after we kind of make a little synopsis here. Dr. Bill's having a birthday this Sunday. Happy birthday to you, you old veterinarian. Anyway, Ark Animal Hospital at 750 21st Street, near Connection Credit Union in Hayburn. They have the warm hearts for the cold noses, and they're a mixed animal practice, meaning large or small. They take care of them all and want all of them, all the pets and animals, to stay healthy. Absolutely. You get a hold of them today, 678-1177. That number again, 678-1177. Ark Animal Hospital in Hayburn. Yes, it is so true. Yep, they do have the warm hearts for the cold noses. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Zebra.
Yes, sir.
Burley Senior Center on South Overland Avenue in Burley, Idaho. Today we're having chicken salad sandwiches and mixed vegetables and salad and yummy dessert. They haven't told me yet what it's going to be.
All right. And what if they want to take out a dinner for their own residents, or if they want to sit by the city park or whatever? What do they do?
Call 208-678-7866, and they'll have it ready for you at noon. Pick it up for only $5.
Joe, thank you so much. God bless you, and I wish you a very happy 4th of July Independence Day week next week. Thank you.
Thanks to you and your wife.
All right, sir. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate that. Good guy right there, and I have a lot of respect for him. Okay, we're going to go through the list here right after I tell you. You know what's going to be starting on Saturday, don't you? Oh, the schedule of events for the Rupert 4th of July Independence Day 2019, with the theme celebrating Independence Day, the Rupert Way, with the Grand Marshals, Dean and Linda Cameron. Oh, they're going to put them up on thrones, and they're going to carry them all over the city, and they're going to have scepters, and they're going to go, yes, this is good, yes, this is wonderful. And it all starts on Saturday at 6 in the morning right there on the square, with a Christmas lighting breakfast on the square. And then every day after that, outstanding music and special events like the mutton busting on Monday at the fairgrounds, and then the Firecracker 500 lawnmower race on Wednesday. And then, of course, next Thursday on the 4th, the humongous 4th of July parade for the Rupert 4th of July celebration, Independence Day 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, I watched the entirety of that so-called debate. It wasn't easy, I'm telling you. There were so many other things I wanted to watch, including a Cubs game, but I was dedicated to do my job. And here's what I saw, and for those of you that watch the Democrats, and it's hard enough for me to watch any one Democrat, let alone 10 of them at the same time. Governor Inslee of Washington is about as polished as a pair of 30-year-old scuffed-up boots. My prediction, as of last night, gone, out of there, no more. Elizabeth Warren, squeaky. This woman just agitates me, the way she looks and the way she sounds. I know there's people out there going, well, you might agitate people the way you look and sound too. I know that. But she sounds like she needs an oil change. Very nervous and yet very dangerous. Beto O'Rourke, would somebody explain to me this morning, please, why in one of the questions that was asked of him, this nervous Nellie broke into a Spanish answer? And you know, this offends me. And I don't care who's offended by what I say. This is America. It's an English-speaking nation. And when he starts answering questions in Spanish, that to me is offensive. And I think with the downplay of some of his other answers and attitude last night, Beto O'Rourke is like a long home run at Yankee Stadium. Going, gone. Amy Klobuchar reminded me of an elementary school teacher without a lesson plan. She's gone. She's done. She's toast. She's not going to be seen anymore. And then we come to Bill de Blasio. Great big Bill de Blasio. This man, he's kind of scary. He's kind of scary because he's so big and he's so stupid. And I'm just going to come right out and say he's gone, out of there. Bug-eyed Cory Booker. Now, this guy is so hard to watch with those big bug eyes. And I got to be honest with you, he just absolutely looks like a cheap grade horror show. And I don't think he's going to carry enough strength to stay in the race much longer. Julian Castro, the man that wants no borders, y'all come on in. Y'all live in America, and the citizens will pay for you. I'd like to say that he's gone and out of there, but I think he's going to remain tough for at least another couple of weeks. Then we have Tulsi Gabbard, and she actually made some common sense last night on issues of security and defense. And I'm going to hold right there. I think she's going to stay in for a while. I think she gained some support, but she did obliterate Tim Ryan. He's gone. He's going to be out of there. He got completely shot out of the saddle by Gabbard on her answers to questions, and he made a fool out of himself. And last but not least, another person that's rather obscure, John Delaney. And I'm going to tell you right now, he made some very good answers. I don't agree with his concepts and principles. Being a Democrat, he made some really good answers. So what am I saying? I thought Gabbard and Delaney, two of the lesser knowns, did actually better than some of the bigger names. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, Zeb. I thought it was kind of a disgrace overall. You know, a lot of the programs that Obama supported, and Trump's trying to get them through. The Democrats supported Obama, but they totally reject Trump. Mm-hmm. And, you know, in my opinion, I feel that Trump is probably a trillion times better president than Obama ever thought of being. I would rate Obama the worst world leader that ever lived on the face of this earth because of the programs he stood for in a lot of things, like his Muslim stand and things like that. It's just, to me, a disgrace that they can't support a president that is so much better and cares about the country. It just makes me sick to my stomach that we've got a party that corrupt and rotten.
Yeah. Jerry, I would say this, that I think history will show in the next 10, 25, and 50 years exactly what you said. I think history will prove that Barack Obama was very, very diminutive as far as value to the United States. I agree with you totally.
And, you know, to run down the economy now, saying only 1% of the population is benefiting from the things that Trump's done, that's just plumb ridiculous. That's proven false in everything that's happened in this country since Trump took over.
Yeah.
You know, it was almost immediate turnaround.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that took 5 or 10 or 20 years. We blame Bush 8 years after he was in office for things that, you know, were happening under Obama. And it was ridiculous. He couldn't do a better job than he did.
Jerry, very well stated. Thank you, my dear, dear friend, and hopefully we'll see you at Lunch Bunch. God bless you, man. Thanks.
The doctor lets me out.
All right,
anyway,
sir.
You have a wonderful day, and may your audience be blessed by the Lord in every way.
Oh, thank you very much. Very, very kind of you. Caller, I'm going to ask your indulgence to stay there just for a second. I want to remind everybody that tonight is the big night, starting at 6 o'clock for the big show and shine of the Idaho Regatta on the Rupert Square. Oh, the big boats are going to be there. You can see them close up and personal. And then, of course, tomorrow, Friday, the big boat parade in Burley. And then later in the afternoon on Friday, they're going to start the time trials and the testing and the race. And then Saturday and Sunday, all the races, holy moly, right there at the Burley Golf Course Marina. Don't miss this world-class event, Idaho Regatta. All the way through Sunday, be there. Get your tickets, idahoregatta.org, or at the gate. Don't miss it, the Idaho Regatta for 2019. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. Couple of points on that. You're hitting some good ones, but a couple of that I noticed. How many times did one of those candidates refer to the United States as the democracy. I thought we lived in a republic.
You know, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My wife and I were sitting there watching this last night, and both of us said, wait a minute, they keep referring democracy, democracy, democracy. It is a republic, and I don't think these people are understanding or smart enough to comprehend the difference and what is right in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, well, you know, they're the ones that want to change the Pledge of Allegiance. They probably want to take the Republic and under God out of it totally. But my other point was I didn't know whether to laugh or throw up when Elizabeth Warren was talking about her going to school. Because she had to go to community college and blah, blah, blah. And she forgot to mention that she put on her resumes that she was part Native American to get a, you know, an edge up on everybody else.
You know, let me ask you something, because you're always such an astute listener and you know what's going on. The NBC moderators, there was one in particular that I thought was absolutely worthless last night and couldn't get the questions in a brief form. He just let him ramble, and that was Chuck Todd from NBC. He had no business being there last night.
No. Well, and it was like, I don't know, it's almost like the Democratic debate. They give them the soft questions, you know, and then like, we don't want to upset you, snowflakes.
You know, that's what I like about you. You and I share a lot of the same common rancor against the Democrats and their attitude and the snowflakes. What do you think, though, before I let you go? What do you think about round 2 tonight? Is it going to be any different? Do you anticipate any more knowledge or education that's going to be shown? What do you think?
I was thinking about that a little while ago, and I was thinking, well, they already know the questions because they were on there last night. I don't think they're going to come up with how are you going to rewrite questions about what their major topics are.
Well, let me throw these names at you. Real quick and see if you agree. Front runner Joe Biden, I think that the rest of the field tonight, they've got to go after him and attack him. They can't treat him as an equal, but he's already got a big lead. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, but he has a big lead, but everybody's forgiving him for all the touchy feelings that he did.
Yeah.
And if I were anywhere near him and he touchy-feeled me, I tell you, I'd come around with a cross hook and put him down cold.
I bet you would.
Somebody needs to do that, and they need to do that on the stage. Maybe not literally, but you know.
Yeah. I will give you the names of the people I think that are going to be long gone and memories after tonight, and I'll start with Andrew Yang, Marianne Williamson, Michael Bennett, and Kirsten Gillibrand and John Hickenlooper. They are wasting our time and the Democrats' time by even being a part of this debate.
Exactly, but now we can write a book and get rich.
I love your cynical attitude. Hey, have a great day. I think you're spot on. Thank you.
Because someday I'm going to actually meet you in person. So.
Oh, I'll look forward to it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. God bless.
Oh, I love that lady. Every time she calls, I love her attitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Calls welcome 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Wheels, old buddy, old pal, can I have this good word for the Silver State Stampede?
Follow the crowd to family entertainment at its best. The 2019 Silver State Stampede roars into Elko July 12, 13, and 14 at the Elko County Fairgrounds. Kicking off this fast-paced weekend is the annual Tri-Tip Dinner on Friday, along with mutton busting, Old West bronc riding, PRCA rodeo action, the always popular Ring of Fear, and new this year, mini bull riding. The fun continues on Saturday and Sunday with more PRCA rodeo action, and you can dance the night away with the music of Moonshine Outlaws. Get your advance tickets today at Roy's, J.M. Capriola Company, IFA, the Boot Barn, and the Elko Chamber of Commerce. Don't forget the best in the West is waiting for you at the Silver State Stampede, July 12, 13, and 14. For more information, visit us at silverstatestampede.com. Head to the Elko County Fairgrounds for the one, the only Silver State Stampede rope and ride on the wild side.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, by the way, some of the great merchants over in Rupert that want you to come on over and be a part of their 4th of July celebration for Independence Day. Magic Valley Carpet, 613 D Street in Rupert. Oh, my goodness. They're just off the square with all your flooring needs. Your carpet, hardwood, vinyl, laminates, everything. Installation guaranteed. Oh, my goodness. They're good. Magic Valley Carpet. Along with Haskin Insurance Service, 629 Fremont Street in Rupert, 436-4141. They really are your partner in insurance protection, and they urge you to give them a call. Absolutely. They want to make sure that you're protected. Haskin Insurance Service. Along with our friends at Snyder Surplus, 116 South, 200 west of Rupert. Man, they've been over there since, 1997? And wow, they've got everything, underline the word everything, all the way from paracords and ropes to ammo cans to desks and chairs, you name it, it's all there at Snyder's Surplus. And all of them wish you a very safe, sane 4th of July celebration of Independence Day. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Zeb, I'm just glad you said that at the end, that we don't celebrate the 4th of July, we celebrate Independence Day. You know, and people kind of forgot that, and our founding fathers considered it a religious holiday because Jesus Christ is the author of liberty. But, you know, that the Democrats, you put them all together, all 20 of them, and I guarantee they all want one thing. We just take our money, the taxpayers, the people that are producers in this country, and give it to the non-producers. And I think Margaret Thatcher said it best. He said, socialism works until you run out of everybody else's money, meaning the people that are the producers. And de Blasio said something that is so common in terminology today. They call us a democracy. We're a constitutional republic.
That's right.
Yes, we do. You know, and we hear it all the time. And I think our school kids, that's what they're taught. And so we everybody thinks, but you know, Madison in the Federalist Papers said democracy always led to tyranny, the loss of freedom, and the worst form of government is the democracy because it's majority rule, and there's no rights for the minority. And right now in this country, if you look at it, constitutional people, the people that are producers, are becoming the minority, and it's really sad. What's your thoughts on
Well, I agree with everything you said because I keep hearing this every time somebody gets on the air. Democracy, 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 and it's not. It's a republic. Excuse me, I almost choked to death. A republic. But, you know, the arrogance and the uneducated answers that most of these people gave last night, and the way that they act like they were so superior to you and I in thought, word, and deed. Governor Inslee of Washington with his arrogant attitude about climate change, and then Beto O'Rourke answering questions in Spanish. This is an American country that is based on English, and he goes ahead and starts answering in Spanish. And then we had Bill de Blasio. You can't say much about Bill because he's just not that bright. But, you know, the whole list of people that were there last night, each and every one, in my opinion, is not even qualified to accept a position as dog catcher. And tonight, I think we're going to weed out more of the chaff.
Zeb, you took the thoughts right out of my mind. Most of them wouldn't qualify to be dog catcher, in my opinion, as well. But Inslee, you know, I mean, his whole platform is on climate change.
Yeah.
And global warming, and I think the latest surveys that I heard, Zeb, were about the fact that I think it's about 15th as far as people's concerns as climate change. And actually, the parallel, of course, the easy way to look at this, and you know, number one, without CO2 in green plants producing our food and our oxygen, I mean, the planet dies, and we all, you know, we're gone. And so this is the one thing that I ask a teacher, a student, are they teaching this about, you know, about photosynthesis? Didn't have a clue what I was talking about.
Yeah.
This is is pretty scary. This is why we're in the mess we are.
I agree with you. Adrian, I've got another call waiting, and I got a weather forecast, but I want to also compliment you for years.
Real quick, because it's the best way to take the Earth's atmosphere and put it into a 100,000-seat football stadium. And how many seats would be devoted to carbon dioxide out of that 100,000-seat football stadium? Only 40. I mean, it's so ludicrous that 40 seats is going to control everything in the atmosphere. And then, of course, we've got to do away with carbon and the coal-fired plants. Idaho Power's barking up the wrong tree, going totally green. It's just absolutely ludicrous. We need to stop it and get on to Idaho Power to stop this nonsense.
Amen. Well stated, Adrian. Thank you for your call. Have a wonderful Independence Day celebration on the 4th of July. Thank you very much. Caller, I'll be right with you. I promise. I got to tell everybody real quick about Berry Equipment and Rental. Oh, they got the big dudes. Yeah, they got the big Doosan wheel loaders and the excavators for all the lifting and the digging and the pushing and the carrying. And then they've got all the Bobcats. They've got all the sizes, all the skid steers and the mini excavators for sale and for rent. I mean, all the equipment you need right there at Berry Equipment and Rental, sales, service, and parts. Locations, easy to find. 159 West Highway 30 in Burley, 465 Addison Avenue West in Twin, and the Nampa location. Let me tell you something, that whatever the task and whatever the job, boy, they've got the equipment for you. Berry Equipment and Rental in Burley, Twin Falls, and Nampa. And also, real quick, caller, don't get nervous. I'm coming, I promise. I want to be sure and make sure I get all my spots in here this morning. I want to remind you about a great big sale coming up on Saturday, put on by the Bennett Boys Auction Service. My old buddy Joe Bennett was here last night, and I didn't even get a chance to talk to him. Hey, it's going to be this Saturday at 11 o'clock, June 29th, located in the Twin Falls area at 2515 East, 3820 North. From the Curry Crossing, go south 2 miles, then east on Debbie Lane. The Colleen Reeves Living Estate Auction, lunch by the Cook Shack, much of the great furniture and appliances, oak furniture, oak china hutches, household items, antiques, lawn and garden items, all kinds of really nice things for your home at this sale coming up this Saturday, June 29th at 11 o'clock. Colleen Reeves Living Estate Auction over in the Twin Falls area, managed by the Bennett Boys Auction Service. No sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys, they sell them all. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning again. You know, Zeb, when you and I were growing up, when we were young and innocent, the word communism or socialism, you whispered. You didn't say anything about it because I don't know whether you hated communism or you just disliked it, but you didn't advocate it in any way, and neither did the rest of us. But now, it's a common thing. What is wrong with America?
Well, we're seeing a party, the Democratic Party, lean so far to the left, and these clowns looking for a circus that were involved in this debate last night are pushing everything farther and farther to the left, socialism, communism, etc., all away from the actual goals and ideals of America. And I just hope, Keith, I mean this, I hope and I pray that America and the American public, they're smart enough to see through this terrible smokescreen the Democrats are trying to put up to get votes on their side, because it will. If we vote for Democrats, it will destroy America.
Now, let me ask you a question, and you can answer it. De Blasio, is he a pronounced communist? I heard that he is.
I don't think you can use the word pronounced. I think a lot of the ways he treats politics and his activities as mayor of New York City would make one tend to think that that would be his leanings. But I'm not going to make an accusation on something that I can't verify, and you can't either, so I'm not even going to bring it up until I have proof.
Okay. Bernie Sanders, he just blurts it out. that he's a socialist.
Yeah, he blurts it out, and I think wild-haired Bernie is going to go to Happy Haven Rest Home deservedly after a couple of debates, because I think he's going to be worthless. I've got to get a weather forecast on here. We could go down the list. One of my least favorites that we could talk about is Beto O'Rourke. I want to see this guy get out of this race for the presidency so bad. I don't like him or bug-eyed Cory Booker. They just absolutely sicken me.
Let Beto go to Mexico. That's where he belongs.
All right, my friend. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Calls are welcome. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Right now, the weather forecast being brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, and they're right behind the Minidoka Hospital across from the emergency room. Number to call for hearing screening, 312-0957. There are a lot of things that can damage your hearing during the summertime, like lawnmowers and power tools, being exposed to loud motorized vehicles all the time, sporting events, etc. Take care of your hearing. Please get a hold of them for a hearing screening today. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, 312-0957. Here's Gina with the weather.
It's another beautiful day as we are getting ready to finish up with the very last week of June and making our way towards the weekend. Mostly sunny skies for today, looking at a high of 78, slight breeze, winds out of the southwest at about 6 miles an hour. For tonight, we are expecting mostly cloudy skies with a low of 51. Back to mostly sunny as we get ready for the weekend, high of 78, partly cloudy for tomorrow night with a low of 50. As we kick off the Rupert 4th of July celebrations on Saturday, partly sunny skies with a high of 82, overnight low of 53. Then for Sunday, partly sunny and 86. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zeb at the Ranch.
Gina, thank you very much, and appreciate our good folks, and they've been with us for a long time trying to help you with your hearing health, and they do a great job. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. The number to call, 312-0957. I gotta say that one of the most disgusting items that has come up in the last couple of days, and I mean disgusting, is a picture of a dead man. Caller, stay with me just a minute. Don't hang up. A dead man and his girl floating face down in the Rio Grande River. This is nothing more than sensationalism in a very negative fashion. And I found it absolutely disgusting. Why was this picture brought up, and why is it being discussed? Because the left, starting first and foremost with Beto O'Rourke, and then the networks picked it up like CNN, MSNBC, etc., blaming Donald Trump, our president, for those deaths because those people tried to cross the Rio Grande illegally to come into the United States. So automatically it's Trump's fault. And Beto O'Rourke's comments about the deaths of these people on his hands, the blood is on Trump's hands, that is so disgusting. That is so low that never can I have respect, nor will I show any respect for someone that stupid. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. I saw that picture, and that was just really awful. But now I've almost forgotten. When we say the Pledge of Allegiance, how many of us stop and think about what the Pledge of Allegiance says to us? And we are one nation under God, indivisible. And it's a republic that we're part of.
Yep.
That doesn't say all people should be Republicans. That means that the way the United States was put together is as a republic. And so many people use that word in all of the wrong, meanings of it. And we've got to start teaching our kids what the Pledge of Allegiance really tells us.
I don't care if it's the Pledge of Allegiance or if it's our national anthem or whatever patriotic moment, song, or verse is going to be said or played. I'm just absolutely taken aback as to how we've lost in this country the ability to respect what our forefathers, our family members, our friends have lived and died for, so that we can be standing here celebrating our great Independence Day on the 4th of July. People have lost sight of all the sacrifice.
Well, and I do believe that they have lost sight, and I'm wondering what the current history books are saying about what all of these wonderful things that our forefathers went through has done in our lives and the lives. I am so appreciative of the people that have kept us free.
You know,
and, oh, wow.
No, Chris, I got to tell you that every time we start talking about this, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, I get a little teary-eyed and misty-eyed because I think of all my friends, all my buddies from not only high school or college that literally are laying in a grave right now because they joined the Army, the Marines, Air Force, Navy, and some of which did not come home, fighting for me to be on this radio talking to you this morning. I absolutely owe this country everything. I owe them everything. And I will never weaken in being very patriotic on this program, and I will damn and condemn anyone or anything that doesn't believe that way.
You know, and I never say the Pledge of Allegiance or sing the Star-Spangled Banner without it bringing tears to my eyes, because I just feel so blessed to live here.
Absolutely. May I extend to you and your family a very happy 4th of July Independence Day celebration, and thank you for who you are and what you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. You know, the other day we started talking about Greystone Crossing, and this is absolutely an independent senior living facility that you've got to check out. Caller, I'll be right with you. I mean, it's absolutely, it sounds like such a nice place. I can't wait to go over and visit with Wiggins family and find out more. It's for seniors. It has a kitchenette, but I'll guarantee you that you won't need it because they make 3 homemade delicious meals every day, and snacks provided are every day, and they've got, along with that, housekeeping and transportation to your local appointments. I tell you, you need to find out more. Don't put it off, because seniors, this sounds like the place. Greystone Crossing. And the number to call, 650-4979. Write that number down, 650-4979. And where are they located? Right on 21st Street. And you can't miss it. They're on 21st Street on Alfresco Road, and they're waiting to see you. 650-4979, Greystone Crossing. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
You know, 2 of these candidates are our next-door neighbors. Bullock from Montana and Inslee. Inslee he's as dumb a SOB there is. And so, you know, when you look right at him, he looks like he's not there. Like he's not all there. But, you know, he's destroying the state of Washington. I don't know about Bullock. But, you know, again, if we don't stand strong in the state of Idaho, and thank God we have the people that we do, you know, the strong leadership. I don't know about, you know, our new governor so much. He tends to be a little weak in the wind, I think. I'd like to pin him down face to face, but I don't ever get a chance to see him. But, yeah, thank God for Idaho. Thank God for the leadership here. Thank God for the things that we do here in Idaho. And we can never forget who we are and what we do. Does every school in this state pledge allegiance to the flag every morning when they're in school? Or are some classes, some teachers bending the rules and then, you know, and then indoctrinating our students? Do the parents know? I don't know.
I will say this, and I'm almost out of time. I think that I got to tell you somebody that really has been dedicated to more flag awareness and patriotism, and that's George and Donna Mass and their grandson. And they, along with Senator Kelly Anthon, have done an outstanding job of making it more apparent and notable that we always salute our flag, and also with our Pledge of Allegiance and the flag awareness. There's so many things I can say to what you just brought up, and I don't know if every school, I don't know if every classroom does this, but it shouldn't even be an argument. It should automatically be like it used to be when I was in school. Of course, that was a long time when we circled the wagons, but we did it every morning, and we were proud to stand there and salute our flag. I got to run, Randy, but I'm late, but please call me back later. I appreciate that.
I will.
Thank you. Caller, I'm out of time right now, my friend. I'd love to get you on the air, but I just flat have no time, as I've got to tell everybody about our major sponsor, and that's, of course, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you with the best tires for your vehicles. That's not brag. That's a fact. The best. Many of which are on sale right now. You better get in there for your car, pickup, SUV, horse trailer, boat trailer, camp trailer, whatever. They've got all the tires for your safe driving. And don't forget, too, the best in brake service, front end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries, all of this and more with people that really, really care. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Trent on Overland in Burley. None better. You're the best. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Got to go to the news. I'll be back in about 7 minutes. Don't go away. And a good morning to you. Hour number 2, Zeb at the Ranch. And, of course, I'm Zeb Bell with our great big major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you with the best of tires for your vehicle. Stop in and see them today. Along with some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. Oh, by the way, Anthony over at Save on Shells. Morning. This is a great guy. Stop in at 1827 Overland if you're looking for a camper shell for your pickup. Oh, my goodness. I bought 2 shells so far from Save on Shells. Absolutely the best of shells and the best of service. I tell you what, call the number 312-1525. That number again for Anthony, 312-1525, and he knows shells. He knows all about it and can fix you up in a big hurry. Save on Shells, 1827 Overland and Burley, 312-1525. Absolutely the best. Good guy. Want to remind you, too, that, let me see, what have I got here? Vicky's. Oh, my goodness, yes, on Monday at 10:30, we have Green Thumbs, Dirty Knees, and Gardening with Vicky's Country Garden. And, of course, we urge you to tune in at 10:30, and the lovely Miss Vicky will give you all the garden tips and everything else. And for all your gardening needs, don't forget Vicky's Country Garden, 185 South, 600 West of Paul. A great lady and her great staff serving you. When I talk about great staff, I've also got to mention our dear friends over at Hanson Mortuary at 710 6th Street in Rupert. Hello, Joel Heward and his family and his staff. And I urge you to remember this number, 436-5636. That number again, 436-5636. When there's the passing of a loved one, they are there to help you and serve your family with the best possible support and comfort. Always with the highest ethical standards, with unquestioned integrity. I urge you to call 436-5636, Hanson Mortuary in Rupert, and Joel Heward also serving you at Morrison Payne Funeral Home on East Main in Burley. It is Thursday, and I'm back in the saddle on this Thursday, and every other Thursday we alternate a little bit with my dear friend Sharon. But right now we're going to go over to the Chamber of Commerce and the lovely CEO, Penny Main. Good morning.
Good morning, Zeb. Hey, it's really great to hear your voice. Sharon's great, don't get me wrong, but it's good to hear that you're back in the saddle again, for lack of a better way to put it, huh?
Well, we're going to alternate Thursdays because, quite frankly, I'm old, and Deanne and I are going to take some 4-day weekends during the summer just for us.
Good for you. That's awesome. And just a shout-out to Anthony Asen. You said he's a good guy. Boy, isn't that the truth? What a great guy.
And he knows all about camper shells. He knows everything about them. All you got to do is stop in and talk to him.
Yeah, he's a good guy, that's for sure.
What do you got cooking this week about the visitor center?
Oh, my gosh. Well, we have been swamped. I'm not kidding. I've lived here a long time, as you know, and I just never realized the magnitude of people that come through this place. And we're seeing more and more all the time, of course, every day, and as people gather, especially for like the 4th and those kinds of events. But last week, for instance, I don't know how many people we saw from Florida, but we saw last minute on Friday afternoon a gentleman coming through from Scotland, of all places. We had one of the executive folks from Simplot come through. I believe it was Monday, right at the beginning of the week. He was from Alberta, Canada, and traveling through. And so, this small little spot here in this beautiful Hayburn Park is really a gathering place for lots of folks. And I discovered that it's kind of halfway, between Salt Lake and Boise. And I just finally figured that out a couple of weeks ago. So people kind of stop by and take a little break and grab a map, and we give them a bottle of water as they walk out the door and hopefully get them on their way safely and soundly. So,
Penny, one question I've got right there is, it's great to hear about these people from Florida and Scotland and other places, but, you got to give them credit for the initiative to come off the freeway and find you.
Right. Yeah, and I think they know that Chambers of Commerce by nature try to be a bit of a welcoming mat anyway, and we're kind of this, this hub, if you will, of all things that are going on throughout the area, albeit 4th of July activities or whatever the case may be, class reunions, et cetera, et cetera. And I think Chambers of Commerce by nature, I know Sean experiences that in Twin as well, but they just kind of stop by and they know we've got information. They know we've got a safe place to land momentarily, and they can just take a little break and kind of gather themselves before they hit the road again. But you're right. I mean, where we sit here, and we're a couple of miles away from, exit 211 out there. So they do have to make an intentional point to get here. So I'm really appreciative of that,
You've got a magazine that you brought up on this program a couple of weeks ago, Destination Southern Idaho. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, again, I know I don't want to sound like a broken record, but this really is a great document. We've got plenty of them here, and so people are more than welcome to stop by and gather them up, albeit for your business. We're coming to find out that this magazine's great if you are recruiting new employees into town or you've got a big family reunion coming into town for whatever reason. This magazine kind of showcases all the upcoming activities that are going to be happening here over the next 2 or 3 months, not to mention it just gives some great information about tourism and recreation in our area. So I really encourage people to stop by and pick up a couple of these or 20 or 30 of them. We just gave a bunch of them, for instance, a couple of weeks ago to the Women at the Wilson event that Chris Fox put on. I believe it was last week. And so we made sure that everybody walked away with one of those magazines. But again, they're really, really handy if you're getting ready to, again, do a family reunion or something like that. People can kind of peruse through that. There's all sorts of chamber information as well if you need to find a hotel or a great place to eat. It's just a great one-point place to go to get a lot of great information.
Big event kicks off this weekend. It's a world-class event, the Idaho Regatta.
Yes, sirree. And the river's busy already this morning, Zeb. The boats are running. I heard a couple of them run up and down this morning when I got in here about 8 o'clock this morning. So, this place is going to be a hopping here in about the next 24 hours. Tonight, I know there's a big show and shine that they're going to do at the Rupert Square like they always do, and I believe that goes from 6 to 10 p.m. Leslie Garner was by yesterday, and she's putting goodie bags together for everybody, and she's obviously at the city of Rupert. But that should be a really great event. Now, somebody called yesterday and wanted to know about this fish fry, and I don't think they're doing the fish fry this year. I don't think they're doing the annual fish fry. But don't quote me on that. But I do know they're going to do just the show and shine, and people can certainly go down to the square tonight and take a look at all those beautiful, beautiful beasts that are going to be hitting the river tomorrow.
Absolutely, and in time remaining, we've got to talk about another class event. That's going to be the Rupert 4th of July celebration of Independence Day.
Yes, we're so excited. I know you guys have been, you and Deanna have been to this. I mean, we've all been to it. It's just a great, great event, and we are geared up for it. The Minnecaja Chamber of Commerce is proud to be a sponsor of that event, and you can get all of the details by going to Rupert 4th, and that's rupert4th.com. That gives a full highlight of all the things that are happening here over the next, handful of days. But it actually kicks off, Saturday morning with the big breakfast, the lighting on for the Christmas lighting. That they raise money for every year. That's 6 to 10 a.m. And I know the fireworks are Saturday night. Sunday's the patriotic program at 6 p.m. There's music all week long in the park. It's just a great event. Lawnmower races, mutton busting, so much going on next week in Rupert. And then, of course, the big parade that everybody waits for next Thursday at 11 a.m.
And if anybody has questions about anything going on in this area, please call the Minnecaja Chamber of Commerce. Tell us how they do that.
Yeah, sure. And we had tried to have most everything of everything that's going on, all the information. If we don't, we'll find it for you. I have your back on that. So if you need some details on something coming up, please just get a hold of the chamber 208-679-4793, or visit our website, of course, at MinnecajaChamber.com. And we're located right here on the corner, right next to the beautiful Hayburn Park. You can't miss it.
Absolutely. The president and CEO of the Minnecaja Chamber of Commerce, Penny Main, thank you. Very well done this morning. Talk to you next week. Thank you.
You too, friend.
All righty. A lot of things going on, and to find out more, be sure and contact the Minnecaja Chamber of Commerce. Holy smokes, I've got to get some things in. We mentioned the regatta. I want to remind you that they're getting everything ready to go for the big show and shine in Rupert right on the square. That's going to be tonight. And then tomorrow, the big boat parade for the Idaho Regatta 2019. And then, I tell you what, folks, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they're going to have racing like you can't believe. Some of those boats are going to go 140 miles an hour. Different classes of boats, all kinds of races, right there at the Burley Golf Course Marina. Get your tickets right now or at the gate. Idaho Regatta for 2019. Don't you miss it. Oh, and by the way, Penny was just talking about all the activities going on over at Rupert for the great big Independence Day celebration on the 4th of July. Well, I'll tell you what, the theme is celebrating Independence Day the Rupert way, with great folks as the Grand Marshals, Dean and Linda Cameron. Why do I always mess up her name? I'm sorry, Linda. Dean and Linda Cameron, there you go. They're going to be leading the parade on Thursday, the 4th of July at 11 o'clock, and I'll tell you what, there's so much to do over there. All the food booths and excellent music. We had Alan Johnson on the program with us yesterday. Mutton busting, the Firecracker 500 lawnmower race, everything. It's always fun. It's always for you and the family at the Rupert 4th of July celebration of Independence Day all this next week. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go via tape to some great interviews and knowledge from our friends at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. And we're going to have Wheels turn that on right now.
Right now, we're going to move on over to Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, of course, at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, and visit with Josh Greenwell. Josh, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Zeb. I'm doing very well. How about yourself this morning?
Well, I'm great. Just had another little physical therapy appointment with you folks yesterday and feeling really well and happy about the outcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You are the son of Nick Greenwell, the owner of Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. What possessed you to graduate from Oakley High School and then move on and eventually end up at Burley Physical Therapy with your dad? Give us a little case history on that.
Yeah, so like you were saying, I graduated from Oakley High School in 2008, so that was where I was raised. I've been away for a long time now. Went to Utah State for a few years to get my bachelor's degree, and then I actually went out to Jonesboro, Arkansas to get my doctorate in physical therapy for a few years, and now I'm just happy to be back. You know, they say home is where the heart is, so me and my wife are happy to be home and ready to move on to the next phase of life.
You said Jonesboro, Arkansas. Now, are there various schools for this type of learning all across the United States? And how do you decide which are the best ones to go to?
Yeah, so there are schools in every state. There's one in Idaho at Idaho State University. I ultimately decided not to go there just for financial reasons. That's why I moved out to Jonesboro, Arkansas, because they gave me the best bang for my buck as far as education goes and tuition and all of that, but it was still a very good school, got very good ratings, so I knew I wasn't getting an inferior product when I moved out there either.
You know, Josh, what possessed you or made you feel that you wanted to follow in your dad's footsteps? What was the motivating factor there?
You know, for a long time I thought I was going to go to medical school and be a surgeon and do the doctor thing, but as I shadowed doctors and followed them around a little bit and saw how things worked from the physician side of things, and obviously I was helping my dad out in his clinic a little bit here and there as well. I really like being able to spend more time with patients, doctors, and I don't think it's, you know, I'm not trying to denigrate doctors at all. I don't think it's their fault. I think they would, if they could, they would spend a lot more time with patients, but because of all the people they have to see, they just can't. But I like being able to spend, you know, an hour each time you come in, chatting with you, getting to know my patients, and really helping them along in their journey towards rehabilitation. So that's what ultimately led me to decide to choose physical therapy instead of medical school.
Well, Josh, is there a coordination now that's better, let's say, from the doctors after a surgery or after trying to recoup from an injury with the physical therapist so that you can kind of work as a team?
Absolutely, and that's something that my dad and everybody here at Burley Physical Therapy does really well. We were chatting with Dr. Millar over at the hospital just yesterday about a few patients, and we do our best to keep in touch with people's primary care providers or whoever referred them to us so that they know what's going on and so that we as a medical care team can provide the best care for all of our patients.
You know, let me ask you about the making or understanding of the various exercises. I would imagine, and help me on this, I would imagine there's always changes or we can do this better if we try something else attitude. Are the exercises that are prescribed, are they always changing and are they always being studied?
Absolutely, yeah. Research is being done every day at universities and clinics around the country to try to make things better. And so it's all about just keeping up to date on what the latest research says and knowing what's best for patients, and obviously trying to just do what works best for each individual person and creating an individualized care plan that's unique to anybody that walks through the door.
Hydrotherapy always has intrigued me because you can do so much more, in my opinion, in the water. Is hydrotherapy something that is at its fledgling stages, or what's the status of that right now? It seems to me like it's a real innovative idea.
It is, yeah, and we are fortunate here at our facility to be the only facility in southern Idaho that has its in-house aquatherapy pool, and so we're able to have patients in-house doing aquatherapy and doing those cool, innovative things that you were just talking about that it's just tough to do in land-based programs.
Is it tougher as a physical therapist, and this is kind of a odd question, I know, but is it tougher to work with the elderly on a rehab system or younger people? I would imagine that the elderly are pretty set in their ways and sometimes harder to get them to follow a regimen of exercise. Am I right or wrong?
You know, in my very young career, I've come to see that each patient population comes with their own set of challenges. At times, yes, people can be stubborn, but that can be true of younger populations as well. And sometimes it's tough to keep the younger guys from doing what they need to do as far as rehab, and not, what shall I say, not going too hard and trying to get back to things too soon.
I see. Now, what's the toughest thing? Now, your profession, I mean, you've got to know all about the anatomy. You've got to know how this muscle works, that muscle works, how that bone heals, etc. Wow. I mean, you've literally got the education of a doctor, do you not?
The degree I have is a doctorate. It's certainly not on the same level as a doctor of medicine, like the physicians that our patients would see. So I'm not trying to equate that, but the breadth of the education that's required to do physical therapy is broad, and we are specialized in treating musculoskeletal conditions, and so we are certainly a good resource to talk to if that's the kind of problem that you're looking at.
Wow. What about you? I mean, what's your favorite part of being a physical therapist?
Like I was saying earlier, I love spending time with patients. I love getting to know you and your story and being able to have that time, because, again, in a lot of other health professions, I feel like they don't get the time that we are blessed with as far as being able to interact with our patients and being able to interact with them and obviously see them go from a point of low function to a point where they're getting back to doing the things that matter to them in their lives, be it sports or getting back out in the garden, playing with your grandkids. That's the good stuff to me.
What about the future for you? Tell us a little bit about your own personal family.
So I've been married for 4.5 years. We have one little 1-year-old boy, and so we're having a good time watching him grow up and get big and learn all these new things. And so we plan on sticking around the Magic Valley for a long time and raising our family here. So that's pretty well what's on the horizon for us.
I've got to ask this question because a lot of people probably are wondering the same thing. What's it like to come back home and work with your dad?
It's been good, honestly. I know a lot of people aren't as lucky as I am, but me and my dad have always had a really good relationship. He was my football coach growing up, and we always spent a lot of time together, and I've worked with him before, and obviously as just a technician here at the clinic, and so now it will certainly bring a different dynamic to be a physical therapist working alongside him, but I'm really excited to see how it all works out.
One last question. What is so special, you think, about Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation?
For me, all the clinicians here at Burley Physical Therapy are really do care about each one of our patients, not just about their rehab, not just about their physical function, but are interested in how well your kid is doing in school or how your grandson did at the ball game the other day, and want to know those kind of things. And I think that those are the little things that make a huge difference in somebody's rehab, even in someone's physical well-being, to know that someone's in your corner and know that someone cares about you and wants to see you succeed.
A great young man right here in the Burley area, Josh Greenwell, and of course with Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, and call them, make an appointment today at 678-1191. Josh Greenwell, good luck, God's blessings, and thank you for being on the air.
Thanks for having me, Zeb.
Wow, was that ever interesting? And he is absolutely one of the finest young men you'll ever want to meet, Josh Greenwell. Thank you very, very much. By the way, don't forget on Wednesdays we have a very special, and everybody likes it. All the fishermen are calling me. They love that Sportsman's Warehouse segment we do at 10:10 on Wednesdays, the Old Fishing Hole, sponsored by Sportsman's Warehouse in Twin Falls at 1940 Bridgeview Boulevard. Josh Anderson, the fishing guru, is the man standing out in the water or sitting in a boat someplace, calling while he's fishing at the Old Fishing Hole, sponsored by Sportsman's Warehouse. Holy cow, don't forget our friends, and I really mean this, our friends at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. Wow. Good morning, Jeff and the rest of the crew. They're having a big summer clearance on mattresses and recliners. Comfy time. Good night's sleep, and enjoy a comfortable sit while you're watching the television. all the debates and everything. They've got all the recliners over there and all the floor coverings. Don't forget to close out on many of the carpets, too. Now's the time to beautify and comfortize your home. So we urge you to stop in and see the pros. They really do a phenomenal job at Lee's Furniture, floors, and more. 459 Overland in Burley. You stop in and see those really good folks today. One other note that I want to mention, actually I've got a couple other notes, and then we're going to go right to Rita Ramsey. I want to remind you about Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Oh boy, they're ready for all the Independence Day celebration on the 4th. And don't forget, they've got all your life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits, all of this and more to make sure that you, your family, and your business are protected. They're dedicated and very devoted to serving you. Please call them today. Make an appointment. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. That number to call, 436-4424. That number again, 436-4424. Speaking about all the merchants over there, holy smokes, they're excited about everything that's going to be going on. Want to remind you, many of the merchants over in Rupert, including our Senator Kelly Anthon, invites everybody to be at that newly remodeled square. I can't wait to see that during the 4th of July celebration for Independence Day, and help Rupert celebrate another great year of fun and festivities, from fireworks, great food, horse racing, lawnmower races, everything. Senator Kelly Anthon says, come on over to the Rupert 4th of July celebration of Independence Day. And don't forget Dixon Oil Company at 602 South 2nd in Rupert. They've been in business since 1951 with the best of gas, oil, and propane for heating. Daryl and the crew at Dixon Oil, they wish you the best 4th of July ever, and be safe. Please be careful out there from Dixon Oil. And last but not least, Aruza Insurance. Hello, David Aruza. They can give you options on retirement and financial advertising and help, and they can also help you with competitive rates, coverage, and personal service on all your insurance. So please get a hold of them today. Haruza Insurance, 723 South 3rd Street in Rupert. All of those businesses wishing you a safe, sane celebration of Independence Day on the 4th of July. Woo! I've got to take a deep breath and say good morning to a lovely lady that I didn't get a chance to talk to for the last couple of weeks. Rita Ramsey, how is my friend? Is she there? Hi, Wheels didn't have you turned up. Hello, Rita. How you doing?
I'm good.
Well, you know, I got to tell you that the first thing out of the gate this morning, I've got to ask you, did you sit down and diligently watch the first of one of the two boring debates?
Well, when I got home last night, it was probably a little after 7. And I thought to myself, oh, no, it was after 8. I thought to myself, oh, I should probably turn that on. So I went and I finally found it, which was on MSNBC. And the person who was speaking was old Beto O'Rourke.
Oh, boy.
And he couldn't really answer a question. It was just kind of like, am I supposed to be giving information here? I mean, he just looked like he was a dunce. It's kind of like, what's the matter with you? And so I watched it for a few minutes, and then finally I thought, you know what, this is just a big waste of time. And I'm getting ready for a family reunion and my dad's 85th birthday that we're going out of town for tomorrow and Saturday, and I had a ton of stuff to do, so I was working away, and finally I thought, I am not going to sit and or stand and work and listen to this all night. So I just turned it back to my DIY channel.
I got to tell you that because of my job, I felt obligated to sit and be bored for 2.5 hours. And to show my dedication, my favorite Chicago Cubs were playing last night. I even put on the debate over my Cubs. But I saw so much incompetency I'm not trying to berate the Democrats just because they're Democrats. But when you start talking about incompetency, at the top of the list for being incompetent and shouldn't even be on the stage was Governor Inslee of Washington. That guy is absolutely nothing. And then you look on down the list to Amy Klobuchar. She absolutely will not be coming back, nor do I think that Bill de Blasio is going to be coming back. I think Tim Ryan shot himself in the foot so bad last night he won't be back. A lot of them just absolutely, and I'm being honest, made fools out of themselves.
Well, this is what's really sad, and I guess you have to start the weeding someplace, is when there's between 20 and 212 running for Democrat president. You have to start somewhere. And so I guess this could be one of those places where they'll say, you know, I really did look stupid. I think I'm just going to drop out because I haven't really raised any money, and it doesn't look like I've got much support, and they'll start kind of dropping out of there. The thing that's really sad is those who we probably are thinking will last a little longer, like Elizabeth Warren and some of those, the things that they're advocating is so absolutely ridiculous, and the blame that they're placing on somebody else instead of just giving the facts. It's like there's always got to be somebody to blame, and it's whoever we're running against, and it's not their fellow Democrats, because no, they wouldn't be to blame for the big problem that we've got at the border or the cages that Obama had built for the kids or any of that kind of stuff. It's got to be President Trump's fault because he's the president right now. And by the way, there isn't a very good economy. I mean, they start saying this kind of stuff, and it's kind of like, so really with the economy the way it is, do you really think that the really rich people are the ones who are benefiting and nobody else? Maybe ask those people who were out of work until their manufacturing jobs came back, or who were maybe doing minimum wage jobs, and now manufacturing is up and they're back into a job that's making twice as much money, and they've got some benefits and stuff like that. But they won't do that because they don't want to give the truth. They want it to look like that, you know, Trump only likes the rich because he's rich, and they're the only ones who will benefit.
You know, I'm going to say two names to you, and you can go ahead and feel free to criticize me or even laugh at me for saying this. But the two names that I thought answered the questions in a very straightforward manner and answered them with intelligence were Tulsi Gabbard and John Delaney.
Well, that's probably true, and they probably haven't been on the circuit as long as some of the others and know all of the ways to escape around answering questions. You would have thought that, like even Beto O'Rourke would know how to answer questions. I mean, he ran against Ted Cruz as a senator, and he was trying to become a senator, and he's had other political things that you'd have thought that he would have been able to hold his own, but he just looked like a dunderhead, and I hope there are some people that are intelligent looking. The big thing that I'm pretty sure of is they won't be the choices. I think that it's just like, I can't remember who it was that called in, and it might have been somebody on early morning about 6 when I was listening, but somebody said, you know what, I think the choice is already made. They're just kind of doing this, and it's going to be like when Hillary and them were running, and no matter how Bernie won, Hillary still won.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Let's take that from that juncture. And everybody that I've talked to back in D.C. and New York, a lot of my leads for my different news segments, it's kind of a slam dunk, kind of a done deal that everybody says, well, Biden's going to win the nomination. Wait a minute. I'm going to go back a little bit and ask why. Why is it a slam dunk from somebody that's been a two-time loser in the past, somebody that's got a lot of illicit activities with his son that haven't even been brought to the surface yet, and somebody that's got some charges against him by various women because of touchy-feely type things? Why is it a slam dunk that all of a sudden people think it's going to be Joe Biden?
Well, I think that they, the people in the media, and especially polling, and those who are out on the, all the MSNBCs and the people who are giving their thoughts, they think that Americans are stupid. They only say that Republicans are stupid and uneducated and hicks, of which that is totally wrong, because generally the Republican people and the people who vote conservative are well-schooled, and they know of a lot of stuff. And I'm not saying that everybody that's a Democrat is not unknowledgeable, but I think if they really studied and learned about stuff, they wouldn't be Democrats anymore. So I guess that these other, like the MSNBC people and the ones that are always doing the talking points and, said this and that and the other, I think they really think that the Democrats are stupid and don't know anything. And so the only way that the Democrats can win is if they have somebody with high name recognition, which, because Joe Biden's been in the public and serving as a public, servant, that he is the one that everybody recognizes. And so that's our only chance, because all of these other 211 people that are running for president, most people don't have any idea who any of them even are.
Let me play a little game.
I think I know Biden. I recognize his name. Do you know he was your vice president for 8 years? Oh, that's how I know him.
Let me play a little game with you. I'm going to give you a name, and I want you to give me the first word or two words that come into your mind as to what you think about them and how they represent their personality to you. I'm going to start with Beto O'Rourke.
I think he's just a big fraud.
Okay. I look at him.
His name is Robert, not Beto, and he took Beto so he could try to fool people.
That's right. I look at him, and he looks like he's almost schizophrenic. He's moving all the time like he's looking for a place to hide in the closet or something, and the guy is absolutely not real smart.
Well, I don't really think he is, and he, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but this is my take, is that because he married into money and he's part of an organization that there's a lot of wealth, I think that that's kind of what he's riding on, not necessarily how brilliant he is for that business.
Yeah. What about, let's try this name, Cory Booker.
If there was anyone who was a bad actor, it's him. He acts like that he lives now in the ghetto.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. We know he doesn't. And whether he was raised in the ghetto or not is maybe a different deal. Whether he was, I don't have any idea. But I do know that he's always saying kind of stuff like, well, come to my front door. I live in the ghetto, and you see what kind of a circumstance I live in. And so that's why these are my people, and I'm here to represent them. That's not the case.
I can't wait to ask you about this next one, because I've got so many things I could add on to her list of what she reminds me of, but I've got to ask you about Elizabeth Warren.
Pocahontas, is that what you said?
She reminds me, and she makes me nervous. She makes me nervous. She reminds me of some squeaky little toy that needs to be oiled, and she's always looking like she's going to fall apart. To me, she's dangerous.
Well, one of the biggest problems with her is that I have noticed, and maybe I'm just not paying as much attention to her as I should, is that she's attacking the rich. Every time she turns around, if we've got to charge the rich more money. Well, they can afford 2 cents more, they can do this and that and the other, and the rich this and the rich that, and it's kind of like, you don't understand that the rich are who makes the country move economically?
Yeah.
And if there aren't rich, there aren't going to be jobs.
I've only got 2 more to throw at you, even though there's a list of over 20 of them. But I want to ask you about, and this man makes me so upset. I don't want him to be even a part of politics. Pete Buttigieg.
Well, you would have thought that he would have been smart enough to not start out with the Christians are a bunch of frauds. I mean, that's what he did when he attacked Mike Pence of being a Christian.
Yeah.
It's like, so what are you saying? Are you saying that you think that people who have a faith and a religious belief that they're bad? I mean, are you just saying, well, I know what you believe isn't what I believe, and I can do whatever I want, and I should hate you for it, and basically because Christians believe in the Ten Commandments, and he knows that, you know, what he represents is probably a violation of one of the big ones, but that's okay. And Christians say, well, you know, do what you want to do. That's just not the way that we believe. But for him to start out, right out of the gate, attacking Mike Pence for his religious beliefs, I think was pretty pathetic.
All right, now I'm going to ask you one more, but before I ask you, and I think you know who it's going to be, I've noticed that his demeanor and his physical appearance and his mannerisms have been very limited as of late. He looks frail, he looks almost sick, and quite frankly, he looks like he's showing his age more so than he did 6 months ago. Joe Biden.
So we used to call him Uncle Joe. I think we call him Grandpa Joe now.
Yeah.
And I really think that there's a lot of stuff. If nothing else, the last few weeks with a lot of this stuff about his boy coming out and some of his misdeeds as mismanaging and being parts of, you know, we're best buds with China and that kind of thing, you'd thought that would be weighing pretty heavy on him, and maybe that's what it is. I would think that anybody that gets to be that age and has a lot of that kind of stuff going on would say, you know what, I'm just going to lay low and enjoy the rest of my life and not bring a bunch of unwanted attacks to my family.
Absolutely.
If it goes very far, his boy's going to be in jail.
Absolutely. Rita, that was excellent. I want to have a little break here for the weather forecast. I'll be right back. Rita Ramsey, stand by. Our weather brought to you this hour by Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. And they provide accounting services to the Mini-Cash area for well over 50 years, serving you, your family, and your business. Don't forget the very, very best of tax return preparation, tax planning, financial statement preparation, retirement planning, all of this and so much more with offices in Burley and Rupert, the best. Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. And right now, here's Gina with the weather.
It's another beautiful day as we are getting ready to finish up with the very last week of June and making our way towards the weekend. Mostly sunny skies for today, looking at a high of 78, slight breeze, winds out of the southwest at about 6 miles an hour. For tonight, we are expecting mostly cloudy skies with a low of 51. Back to mostly sunny as we get ready for the weekend, high of 78, partly cloudy for tomorrow night with a low of 50. As we kick off the Rupert 4th of July celebrations on Saturday, partly sunny skies with a high of 82, overnight low of 53. Then for Sunday, partly sunny and 86. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zeb at the Range.
Thank you, Gina. Brought to you by Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. The best of accounting services to you, your family, and your business. That's not brag. That is a fact. They are excellent at what they do in serving you with offices in Burley and Rupert. Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. Rita, there's so much going on in the news, but right now the Supreme Court is mulling, and they're going to make a decision as to whether or not a question of are you an American citizen should be on the next census. Would you please tell me what is so offensive about putting a check mark proudly, yes, I'm a citizen of this great United States? What in the world is all this hubbub about?
Well, two things. First of all, I don't see anything wrong with it. And if you look back at the history, and I heard this the other day when they were talking about this coming out of the Supreme Court, they said, you know what? This question has been asked every time they've done census.
That's right.
Back to when I started.
That's right.
So what's the big deal with it being there now? The other thing is I was under the impression, I could be wrong, that when they do a census, they're trying to gather information of how many people are where and what, and the types of circumstances that they're living in. Are they rural? Are they suburban? You know, just what are they? Are they urban? Where are they? Where do they live? What do they do? I know it's been quite a while since I did a census thing, but they ask all kinds of questions. But the one thing that they don't usually ask is what is your name and your social security number and all that kind of stuff. They basically are doing a survey, and they ask those questions, and it should be perfectly fine for you to say, yes, I'm a citizen, or no, I'm not. And then they can put, okay, these were answered in the no, I'm not category, and these are in the yes, I am category. But they're trying to gather information, so why would it not be appropriate?
You know, I'm just at a loss as to why our Supreme Court has to take and waste their time and our time over something that should be defined as absolutely unnatural. Yes, they should have a question on there that, are you an American citizen? Yes, that's it. Bottom line. Why is it that we have to do and act with more protections for illegal aliens and the kind of sinister lifestyle that they bring into this country in the dark shadows? We're protecting them more than we are our own taxpayers and citizens.
Well, absolutely, but it comes back to the same thing, is we're going to make the people who work and make America, make America travel and move and get places. We're going to punish those people who are the ones who are making that happen, and give the rights to everybody else. And it's just really sad, because if you're from a different country and you want to come to America, that's fine. Come the right way. Do things on your own. Don't depend on America to take care of you, and integrate into our society and make America better.
You know, I want to go back in the remaining time that we have here this morning, and I mentioned this first hour, you probably heard me, but I thought it was so revolting and so disgusting and despicable that the Democrats, led by Beto O'Rourke, and the news media picking up on this, CNN, MSNBC, and others, and blaming Donald Trump for the father and daughter that drowned in the Rio Grande River, and posting that picture, and then coming out and stating this is what President Trump did, as if he were the killer of those two people. I find that so low and despicable. What are your thoughts?
Well, the other thing that I think about is, and somebody brought this up on a late night thing I was listening to last night, is that if they would give the whole story, we would know the circumstances. So there were Border Patrol people swimming that river, trying to get those people out of there. They never said anything about how they risked their lives trying to get those people out of there. That's right. First of all, Trump wasn't on the other side and didn't toss them in. And because he wasn't there to swim and take them and pull them out to safety is different. I put the blame on those who were there who did it. They sent their little girl with the dad. He took her across, set her on the side, went back to help the mom, and meanwhile the little girl jumped back in. I mean, she was only 2. She didn't know she wasn't supposed to jump back in. So what kind of a father sits a little child on the edge of a river or even a stream and says, okay, you just wait here, little 2-year-old, and I'll be back? It's like, she can see her mom out there, and she can see her dad, so it's like, Mom, Dad, in her mind, and there she goes. Well, yeah. I didn't see President Trump tossing her in there.
It's just got to the point where, I'll say this and we're almost out of time, I don't think in my lifetime I've ever seen politics turn so filthy and nasty and so far to the left, to the point where America, its values, and all of the constitutional values are being just thrown in the trash.
Well, it's because we don't have any personal accountability anymore. It's okay if you don't take responsibility for your actions. One of the things that we always taught our kids is when you make a choice, there's a consequence. And your choice depends whether you get a good consequence or a bad one. There's too many people in America, and it doesn't matter who they are. They don't understand consequences, and they don't take any personal responsibility. And I mentioned to Wheels just before I came on, I kind of think it's the hippie generation that's just really infiltrated, because that was the feel-good and the me time. And now the hippie generation people are in their late 60s and 70s, and they've been running the universities, and they're integrated into our societies, and many of them have never grown out of that hippie mentality.
I agree. Rita, caller, I'd love to do a call-in, but right now I can't. I'm fresh out of time, and Rita, thank you. It's so good to hear your voice, and we'll look forward to next Thursday's the 4th of July, celebrating Independence Day. I want to wish you and your family the best ever. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, and same to you. Bye.
God bless. Caller, I'm sorry I'm just flat out of time right now. Wheels, I need you to tell everybody about the Silver State Stampede.
Nevada's oldest rodeo, the Silver State Stampede, roars into the Elko County Fairgrounds July 12, 13, and 14. This PRCA-sanctioned rodeo brings you the thrill of pro rodeo riders going head-to-head in one of the world's toughest sports, rodeo. Action kicks off on Friday with a delicious tri-tip dinner for just $10. Old West bronc riding, the Calcutta, mutton busting, PRCA rodeo action, and the always popular Ring of Fear. Dance the night away to the music of the Moonshine Outlaws. And on Saturday, show your support with Tough Enough to Wear Pink. And on Sunday, round up the gang for the Family Day at the fairgrounds for even more rodeo action. Get your advance tickets today at Roy's, the J.M. Capriola Company, IFA, the Boot Barn, and the Elko Chamber Office. The best family entertainment this side of the Rio Grande, the Silver State Stampede. For more information, visit them at silverstatestampede.com.
And thank you very much. I'm going to do one of my favorite segments right now, and that is If You're Hungry and Starving to Death, I know where you can go. Let's start first of all with the AC Drive-In. Oh my, I absolutely love stopping in there at 601 East Main in Burley. They've got shakes of all different flavors. They've got all the burgers and the fish burgers, and they've got all the French fries with the special sauce, the famous Farmer Brown burgers. Oh, it's delicious. Always is at the AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. Well, how about Taco Bandito? 2301 Overland in Burley. That's one of the best places to go to get together with your friends for your morning coffee. And then with that, have a breakfast burrito, scrambled eggs, bacon and sausage, cheese, onions, tomatoes, sauce, all on a tortilla shell. Woo! It is dynamite. You're going to love the Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. Well, let's go over to Burgers, etc. But not one, but two great places to serve you. I'm drooling. 124 South Oneida in Rupert and 700 Overland in Burley. And they've got the strawberry shakes, and they got the corn dogs and the burritos, and they're only $1.39 after 3 p.m. Look out, I'm coming. And they've got great food and really, really nice people. As I knock the microphone over, Burgers, etc., with two locations in Rupert and Burley. Well, last but not least, let's head on over to Steve-O's at 290 South, 600 west of Hayburn. Food made the way you love it. During the warm summer months, the patio's open, great music on the weekends, the delicious knock your boots off great buffalo burgers, that new cheesy broccoli spud, you're going to love that. And don't forget cupcakes. Cupcakes, they've got different flavors every week. Great folks serving you great food at Steve-O's in Hayburn. And those are just a few great places to go when you're hungry and starving to death. Wow, we've got, to remind you again, we're going to go to Lunch Bunch today at 11:30. Don't forget that. It will be at Lunch Bunch at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley, 11:30 today. And we've got another half hour of great, great stuff coming up. Next half hour, Cache County School Days, the Business Salute, and then we're going to have another interview with Lewis with the Idaho Regatta. All of this and more, so stay tuned. Zeb at the Ranch. We'll be back in about 7 minutes. Well, welcome back into our third hour, Zeb at the Ranch. Of course, I'm Zeb Bell with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you with safe driving tires. Maybe you're going somewhere over the 4th of July recess for Independence Day. Be sure and stop in and get your tires. Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. And, of course, some of our great advertisers. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. Wheels, could I please have that good word for our friends at the Silver State Stampede?
Nevada's oldest rodeo, the Silver State Stampede, roars into the Elko County Fairgrounds July 12, 13, and 14. This PRCA-sanctioned rodeo brings you the thrill of pro rodeo riders going head-to-head in one of the world's toughest sports, rodeo. Action kicks off on Friday with a delicious tri-tip dinner for just $10. Old West bronc riding, the Calcutta, mutton busting, PRCA rodeo action, and the always popular Ring of Fear. Dance the night away to the music of the Moonshine Outlaws. And on Saturday, show your support with Tough Enough to Wear Pink. And on Sunday, round up the gang for the Family Day at the fairgrounds for even more rodeo action. Get your advance tickets today at Roy's, the J.M. Capriola Company, IFA, the Boot Barn, and the Elko Chamber Office. The best family entertainment this side of the Rio Grande, the Silver State Stampede. For more information, visit them at silverstatestampede.com.
Oh, thank you very, very much. Going to be a great event this year. Oh, by the way, too, I've got just a moment. I want to tell you about our friends over to Patterson's, and they're located at 421 East Main in Burley. Hello, Curtis and Lorena, and the number to call, give them a jingle, 678-6997. Why should you stop in or give them a call? Because they're your electronics headquarters. I'm guaranteeing you they've got all the complete sound systems, the car stereos and the speakers, all the TV sets for your enjoyment to sit back, relax, and watch. Samsung, Sony, Toshiba, etc. They've got the home theater systems, video surveillance cameras. Why, they've even got the HughesNet internet. And they can serve you. They're open Monday through Saturday 9 to 6, and of course they're located at 421 East Main in Burley. Patterson's in Burley. Really, really good folks. Right now, let's go to the phone line. And with us today on our segment called Cassia County School Days, we have the district nurse with Cassia County, Lori Stimpson. Lori, good morning to you. How are you?
Great. How are you doing today?
Not bad. Well, now that it's summertime, you haven't got a thing to do. Just take care, lay in the sunshine, enjoy all the rays, right?
Right. It's so awesome. My favorite time of the year.
Okay. With this being your favorite time of the year, a lot of us forget there are everyday hazards and safety factors that we should be aware of, especially for the kids. You know, they're running and gunning and having a good time. But first and foremost, something that I'm very lax on, and that's putting sunscreen on to go out in the sun. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's very, very important when you're out in the sun to limit your sun exposure between the times of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. when the UV rays are the strongest. But if you are out in the sun, you need to apply sunscreen, at least a minimum of SPF 15 or greater. If you don't, your skin cancer risk increases. If you have one blistering sunburn, it doubles your chances of developing melanoma later in life. And back in our day, we used to be sunbathers. So we used to lay out in the sun without any sunscreen, and we'd even put baby oil and different things like that. But now we're learning about the hazards of sun exposure.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Let me also interject something here that in many cases, that good old sun and its rays with the vitamin nutrients that it provides, it's a good thing sometimes.
Yes, it helps absorb vitamin D. So you do need some sun exposure to help with the vitamin D absorption. But if you're laying out or playing in the sun all day and don't have any protection, that's when you run into problems. And then a lot of times with the sunlight, we don't think about our eyes and protecting our eyes. But your eyes can get sunburned even. So it's important to wear good UV sunglasses to protect your eyes. Because if you burn your corneas, that causes cataracts later on in life.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you know, it's easy for you and I to remember to do that type of thing or know that we should. But, boy, here comes little Johnny and Susie, and they're going to hit the door running. Mom, you're going to have a hard time catching them, aren't you?
Yeah, it's very hard. So it's a lot of the parents' responsibility and reminders of that.
One of the biggest worries that I have and had when my children were little is water safety. Living in a rural area, you may be living close to a canal or a lake or a river. Wow, how do you handle that? That's a constant worry.
It is, and water safety is a huge issue in our area. Like you said, the canals with farming. We have the beautiful Snake River where kids are out there. I see them jumping off the bridge. I see them out there swimming. It's really important to enroll them in a swimming survival program or swimming lessons that talk to them about swimming safety and not panicking. They do have life vests, which I was surprised last summer I noticed at the boat docks. They have life vests that are provided to the public that they can use, but they have to return them, and I think that's amazing. And so at our boat docks, we do have that available. So the important thing is to make sure if you're out on the river, kayaking, paddleboarding, boating, that you make sure you have a life vest that fits properly.
Now, I'm going to ask you the how. How do we know if that life vest fits properly?
It needs to be nice and snug. If somebody can pull it over your head, then if you fall into the water, it may slip off. So you need to make sure it's nice and tight. And they do have strap adjustments on the sides to make sure that you're in there nice and tightly so that it doesn't slip over your head if you were to fall in the water.
You know, Lori, I'm going to sound like an old stick in the mud, and if you want to go ahead and kind of demean me on this, you feel free to do so. I'm not in favor of the kids jumping off the city bridge. I think that's kind of a traffic hazard and also dangerous for them. Am I right, or am I just an old fogey?
No, you're absolutely right. The other day, me and my daughter were paddleboarding down the river, and we could see the kids jumping off, and we were going underneath the bridge. And I told her, be very careful because we don't want somebody to land on our head.
Yeah.
And so I think it can be very dangerous. You don't know how deep the water is. They could hit a rock, coming down. And so I think it's very dangerous coming off the bridges. And so I agree with you 100%.
Well,
If you were to fall on somebody and knock them out or, break an arm or leg doing that, then it's going to be hard to swim to shore.
Yeah. But, water safety, again, maybe I'm just being an old fogey, but, pools are one thing where you can see the bottom and you can see any possible congestion, whatever. But when you're talking about rivers and lakes and everything, I think there's got to be a lot of extra caution by parents and other people to make sure that those kids are capable and able to swim in those conditions.
Yeah, and I think that those kids that are jumping off the bridge is a lot of unsupervised, activities that are going on. So,
well, I just heard a story the other day. I was talking to some people, and they were telling me about some of the kids that are out of school, and they spend their whole day in their bedroom playing with video games. And I thought, whoa, it's a good thing they don't live in my house because they'd be dragged by the seat of the pants outside, and they'd never hear the door unlock until dinner time.
Yeah, that's true. We want our kids to be outdoors and healthy and active. But nowadays they're on different media social sites. They're playing video games, and that's really sad. We're starting to see childhood obesity on the rise and kids with, illnesses that we didn't see back in our day, because it's true. We'd get up in the morning, our parents would throw us outside. They'd tell us not to come home till 5 o'clock when Dad got home for dinner, or you'd wait for them to hear him, call you in for dinner. And so it's really important that they go outside and they stay active, whether it's riding their bike, hiking, any kind of outdoor activity. It's really important for our kids to get out and stay active.
Lori, there's really, honestly, no excuse for a kid to be sedentary, is there? I mean, there's so much going on, whether it's Little League Baseball or soccer or other events. How do people find out what's available? And absolutely, and I'm going to sound bad when I say this, but I mean it, make your kids get involved.
Yeah. A lot of the cities post different things. The cities have, baseball. They have soccer. They have all kinds of things. And so a lot of times at the end of the school year, we send out flyers for the kids to get signed up in that. And so it's really important. If you keep your kids active in school activities and sports and things like that, they're more likely to stay out of trouble, too. And so you can check with the city offices. A lot of them have the schedules. Burley, Rupert, all of them offer different recreational activities, and you don't have to live in a specific county, I don't believe, to participate in the other counties. And so, and then too, our kids that are a little bit older and active in baseball and basketball and stuff, there's camps all summer long, and even football camps, for the older kids. So it's important to stay active and healthy and, get out there and do things.
One of the things that should be brought up is summertime, of course, creates a lot of problems with allergies, and there's a lot of kids with hay fever, asthma, and other things. What would you tell parents that have children with that malady?
Just to make sure that they've seen a physician and get on medication if they need medication. Some kids get allergy shots. Some just need over-the-counter seasonal allergy things. And since you brought that up, we do have some kids that are allergic to bees or wasps and need EpiPens. And so if they're going to be outdoors, they need to make sure that they have the EpiPens available so they don't have, anaphylactic reaction. But, yeah, there are lots of pollens and allergies definitely for sure in the summertime that they need to.
Okay, we got about 2 minutes left here, Lori. What else do you want the public to know about summer health and enjoying the great outdoors?
Well, if they're out in the hot outside, they need to drink plenty of waters and fluids with electrolytes. Heat exhaustion and heat stroke can happen, and so staying hydrated is very, very important. And then also when they're hiking or camping or outdoors or you're near the river, they need to use insect or bug repellents and tick repellents so we don't have kids that have like West Nile virus, Lyme disease, those kind of things. So it's important if you're outdoors to make sure you have the correct repellents, insect repellents. And then bike helmets is a huge thing. Whether your kid's biking, skateboarding, whatever, it's important to protect their heads. And so they need to make sure that they get a bike helmet that fits properly. As we talked with Life Vest, it needs to fit snug, and you can adjust the straps and the pads to make sure that bike helmet fits properly. And this year, in the spring, we were lucky enough, we had Safe Kids come out. It was a farm safety thing out at Declo, and every single fourth grader at Declo through St. Luke's Safe Kids got a free bike helmet.
Oh, my.
And so next year they're going to go to Oakley, and we're trying to get them to all the schools. But if the kids are riding bikes or if they're skateboarding and that, they need to protect that head. You never know when something can happen, and they can have a fall, and we don't want to have concussions or brain injuries or that sort of thing. So it's important to make sure that you're wearing a helmet.
I tell you what, Lori, you always do a great job. District Nurse for Cassia County, Lori Stimson, thank you so much. And to you and yours, a very happy summertime.
Thank you.
All righty, take care. Thank you very much. Nice lady with a lot of good information right here this morning. We appreciate it. Oh, by the way, I've got some other great information for you. Dino's Septic Service. They do the job that you and I know we don't want to do. We don't want to stand out there and pump out a septic tank. We don't want to have to go and clean sewer and sink drain lines. But they do, and they do a wonderful job. And, of course, backhoe service, water and sewer lines installed, liquid waste removal. And, of course, you just need to give them a call, and they're going to be there to serve you. They are the best at what they do, Dino's Septic Service. Now, here's the deal. You call them at 436-6526 or 678-1638. I mean, fast, fair, friendly service. They'll be there and get the job done that you don't want to do. And always they'll pull in the yard with that big truck that says, smells cargo on the way. The best. Serving you, Dino's Septic Service. Got to remind you about a real big sale coming up here, and it's going to be a sale that starts on this Saturday. I'm going to do this real quick, and then we've got another guest to get on the air. And this is a sale managed by the Bennett Boys Auction Service, and it's going to be the Colleen Reeves Living Estate Auction. It's going to be this coming Saturday, June 29th, starting at 11 o'clock in the Twin Falls area. From Curry Crossing, goes south for 2 miles, then east on Debbie Lane. The address is 2515 East, 3820 North. Lunch by the Cook Shack. And I'll tell you what, there's going to be some really, really nice furniture and appliances. A lot of wood, fancy oak, and everything else is going to be a really nice sale. Household items, antiques, lawn and garden items, sporting items, all of this and so much more. Managed by the Bennett Boys Auction Service this Saturday, the Colleen Reeves Living Estate Auction, and it starts at 11 a.m. Bennett Boys Auction Service. No sale too big, no sale too small. The Bennett Boys, yep, they sell them all. Right now, let's head on over to Let's Ride, one of my very favorite places to go, and I'm so thankful they got me started on some four-wheelers a long time ago. Now it's been almost 10 years, I believe. Here's Randy over at Let's Ride. Good morning. How are you? Is Randy there, Wheels?
Yes, sir.
Well, where is he? Hello, Randy. Let's try this again. Randy, are you listening to me or are you listening to somebody else?
Well, no, this is Nick. Randy's busy, and so we're all busy here. We just, whoever got to the phone first.
I'll tell you what, I was getting lonesome there. How's my friend Nick?
I've been good. How you been, Zeb?
Not too bad. Now, I got to tell you, and I want to tell the world, how many years ago was it that you pulled into my yard with that trailer with those two four-wheelers on behind and saw the wonderful big smile break out on my wife's face?
My hell, that's been at least 10 years ago, I would say. Maybe 12.
Yeah, and she really didn't know that they were coming, and you saw kind of a mixed reaction for the first little bit, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. It's always fun when people get fun things and you bring them out to them. Yeah, it just makes my day.
Well, you know, the thing was you unloaded those four-wheelers, and I said, Deanne, the red one's yours, the green one's mine, and you could see she didn't even want to be a part of it, and then you and I coaxed her into driving it around for a little bit. Now you can't get her off of them. It's kind of addictive, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt. And that happens many times. You're like, I don't want it, and then they say, man, that is fun.
Well, now tell us what's going on at Let's Ride and what's cooking for the summer months. I would imagine that a lot of people enjoy the side-by-sides and the four-wheelers, but also tell us a little bit about the watercrafts.
Yeah, and see, everybody likes, the four-wheelers side-by-sides. It's watercraft season. I think it's going to be warm for more than a day or so, I think, and it's time to get out on the river and have fun on those.
Well, tell us about them. What are they like? I mean, do you have them in various sizes? Give us a little explanation of what people can look for.
Yeah, we carry Sea-Doo, Kawasaki, and Yamaha. And in those, you got anywhere from, say, you got a 90-horse clear up to a 300-horse machine. And pull, you got ones that pull. And then we got a new one out, Sea-Doo put out, they call the Fish Pro. And the Fish Pro has a fish finder on it, has stereo, has a live bait well, fish well, and I mean, you got your fish pail holders on it. It's pretty cool. It's sitting right in front of my desk.
Oh, my goodness sakes. You know, Nick, for all the years that you've been involved with Let's Ride at 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World, you probably have noticed a lot of big, innovative changes in recreation with watercraft and four-wheelers. Wow. How high is up? Are there going to be more changes for the future?
They keep changing things up always. And so I've been in it 19 years. And it's changed quite a bit in that 19 years, and I can't imagine what's going to go in the next 5 years. They keep bringing new stuff all the time out.
You know, when you look at every day, you go into that location of Let's Ride, and you open the door. My question has been to you in the past, and we've talked about it. How did you get everything wedged into that showroom?
Of WD-40.
Well, if they're looking for anything to do with fun, like I said, side-by-sides and the four-wheelers and all the watercrafts and everything, what else am I missing? I mean, you've got everything over there.
Well, and that's what's nice about the store here. I mean, it's a one-stop shop. You got every make and model, and, from dirt, road, snow, water. I mean, we got everything. And if we don't have it, we can find it really quick. But we probably got over 300 units
just in stock on the floor. I mean, we probably got more than that. I would say we probably have about 500 units with all the stuff in the warehouse.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we got tons of stuff to pick from, every color, every kind, every whatever.
And what about accessories when people need perhaps some of the clothing or some of the gear? What about your accessory department?
Oh, we got tons of accessories, and we're loaded up right now. They got a lot of stuff for the summer and water. We put all the snow stuff away right now, but we got, probably at least, $500,000 worth of accessories sitting over there.
And, one thing I want to brag on is your service department. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, whether it's just a regular service in the spring or if something breaks down, they can take care of it and get you back up in the hills or on the water. Excellent service department.
Yeah, we got some great guys back there. Tyson's in charge back there, and the mechanics we've had here, well, they've been here as long as I have, most of them, and they know. They got a lot of knowledge of what to do. They're good.
Any final thoughts about Let's Ride and the hours that you're open?
We are open from 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, and Saturday 9 to 4. And a lot of times we're here after closing time to keep people in, getting them new rigs or getting them, what they need, picking stuff up in the shop. But, yeah, come on down. We'll help you out. We got everything here. You don't need to go anywhere else.
I'll tell you what, folks, I'm so thankful that I have them not only as an advertiser but as friends, and they helped us get into four-wheeling. Let's Ride, 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. It's definitely where the fun is sold. Nick, good to hear from you. Thank you much.
Thank you, Zeb. You've been a good friend and a good customer, and I want to thank you for all your business and just being there.
All right. God bless you, my friend. Thank you very much. These are wonderful, wonderful people over at Let's Ride, and I urge you to stop in and say hello to them today. Okay, I had a note sent to me earlier this morning, and I'll tell you again. It's going to be the Burley Lions Club is going to be presenting a patriotic program, America on Parade. It's going to be this coming Sunday, June 30th. They're going to have two performances, one at 6 p.m. and another one at 8 p.m. at the King Fine Arts Center, and the admission is free. That's going to be this Sunday, June 30th. Two performances of America on Parade, one at 6 and one at 8, presented by the Burley Lions Club. All right, let's send it back over to Wheels. We'll be back in about 3 minutes.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
Oh, thank you very much. We started this week talking to you about Greystone Crossing, and I want you to be very familiar with this location and what they do. Greystone Crossing, independent living for seniors. Believe me, a 12-bedroom home, Greystone Crossing Independent Senior Living on Alfresco Road, that's 21st Street in Heyburn, just 1 mile east of Walmart. Please take the time, stop over, say hello, look around. What a wonderful, wonderful, warm location for seniors to live in and enjoy. 3 meals a day plus snacks, housekeeping, and local transportation are all included in the rent. And believe me, passing the days with new friends and old friends, it's really a great location. I urge you to call Kelly and Matt at 650-4979. That number again, 650-4979, and they'd be happy to set up an appointment to show you around a wonderful location, Greystone Crossing. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, on the phone with us is the man that is the head man of the great big world-famous Idaho Regatta for 2019. Lewis, what's going on this morning?
Well, this morning we've been out on the island putting up banners for our advertisers and stuff, and we're down here at the boat ramp right now just getting everything set up for this weekend's race.
I'll bet you right now you're busier than a three-legged cat in a sandbox, because this is all the last minute before the big show and shine tonight over in Rupert, right?
Yes, pretty much. My phone's been ringing off the hook this morning for everybody asking questions about this and that and everything else.
Well, real quick, I won't take a lot of your time. Besides that, I don't want you to fall in the water. Tell us about the show and shine this afternoon in Rupert.
Okay, the show and shine is around the Rupert Square. We'll be located on the south side of the Rupert Square. Most of the boats will be lined up there. We'll have a food vendor out there called the Picnic Table, and he'll be serving barbecue food and burgers and stuff like that. And we'll have another vendor out there, too, the Diamond Plate Grill, and they'll be serving burgers and hot dogs. And just come out and hang out and talk to the drivers, look at the boats, and just come out and have a good time.
Tell us a little bit about the boats real quick. I mean, these are some fancy, fancy boats. And to give us a little picture of, like, the paint jobs and the engines and that type of thing.
Well, the paint jobs are very multicolored. Most of them have anywhere from 5 to 7 colors in them. They're usually cost probably range about $5,000 to $6,000 per boat for paint jobs. And then the engines can range anywhere from $20,000 to $55,000. And so they're a pretty nice piece of machinery. A lot of nice machine work, a lot of hard work goes into them, and a lot of care goes into them, and they're very clean also.
Absolutely. Lewis, tomorrow's the big boat parade at 10 o'clock in Burley, and tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, the boat parade will start at Kodiak America parking lot, which is just south of Stokes. And it'll go down Pomerelle Avenue to the south to 16th Street. It'll go across 16th Street to Overland Avenue, up Overland Avenue to Main Street, and then Main Street across back over to the golf course. And it starts at 10 a.m. Actually, about 9:30, we have what's called a meet and greet. So if you want to show up about 9:30, you can take a look at the boats there and talk to the drivers there also.
Well, now, Friday, you're also going to be having a lot of the testing, and you are going to have a race Friday afternoon. Is that correct?
Yes, we're going to have one class that's going to do an actual competition race, and that's going to be the Nostalgia Jet Boat class. They're going to race a heat race probably around 1 or 2 o'clock, and then they'll race a final event probably around 4 or 5 o'clock.
Okay. Now, then, of course, the big, big days of racing, absolute fun racing, Saturday and Sunday. Give us a little feel for all the races and what people can expect to see.
Okay. Well, our gates are going to open at 8 a.m. Racing will probably start about 10 to 11 a.m. We got 10 different classes of boats this year, all the way from the K boats down to little junior high pros, kids that are 9 to 13 years of age. Are going to be racing this year, and we're going to have 2 heat races and a heat race and a final for every class. So that'll be 20 races for the day, and then we'll have the Grand Prix shootout, which is about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That'll be our last race of the day on Saturday, and that consists of we take 2 K boats, 2 super stock boats, 2 pro stock boats, and 2 SE boats, and we start them at intervals, separating them. And we put the slower boats in front to give them a fighting chance, and the faster boats in the back, and they race for about a $6,000 prize, I think it is, this year.
Oh, my goodness. Well, now, listen, I've had a lot of people call. What about tickets? Can they get all the tickets they want to get in at the gate?
Yes, you can purchase tickets online still. We still have our online tickets available. You can purchase tickets at the gate when you get here. The weekend passes are $40. The single-day passes are $20, and you can buy a pit pass for an extra $5 that gets you in to see all of the boats and everything. You walk around the pits, talk to the drivers, and then we have a senior and veterans ticket, which is only $10, and that one can be purchased at the gate only, and you have to show a valid ID of any military ID that is valid, whether you're retired or active, and then seniors, the age is 62 to qualify for the senior discount.
I'll tell you what, all of this is going to be done at the Burley Golf Course Marina, and Lewis, you've done a phenomenal job of putting all this together for us all the times we've talked to you on the air. I know you're busy. I know I don't want you to back up and fall off the island into the water, and we're going to invite everybody over to the world-famous Idaho Regatta starting tonight with the show and shine and going through the rest of the weekend. Any final thoughts before I let you go?
I'm like you. I just want everybody to come out and have a good time. We do this for the communities all around us. It's not just Burley. It includes Rupert, Hayburn, Murtaugh, Twin Falls, the whole surrounding area. And I just want everybody to come out and have a good time.
You've been a great guy to work with, Lewis. God bless. I hope everything goes great. The weather's going to be good. And, gentlemen, start your engines. Have a good one, Lewis. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on, Zeb.
All right, sir. The Idaho Regatta, the world-famous Idaho Regatta. It's this weekend. Don't you miss it. Holy smokes. Right now, I want to remind you we've got to get a weather forecast on. What am I doing early, you say? Well, I've got to get on the road and go down to Lunch Bunch. That's going to start at 11:30 at Denny's Restaurant, America's Diner. We urge you to be there. But right now, I want to tell you about Scarro's Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. The number to call, 324-7657, or you can go to their wonderful website and check out all the delicious meats. You've got a family picnic coming up, or maybe a company picnic, whatever the case might be. Oh, they can help you. The tri-tips and the marinated pork ribs and all the bratwurst. Oh, yes. Scarro's Meats in Jerome. You get a hold of them today. And right now, here's Gina with the weather.
It's another beautiful day as we are getting ready to finish up with the very last week of June and making our way towards the weekend. Mostly sunny skies for today, looking at a high of 78, slight breeze, winds out of the southwest at about 6 miles an hour. For tonight, we are expecting mostly cloudy skies with a low of 51. Back to mostly sunny as we get ready for the weekend, high of 78, partly cloudy for tomorrow night with a low of 50. As we kick off the Rupert 4th of July celebrations on Saturday, partly sunny skies with a high of 82, overnight low of 53. Then for Sunday, partly sunny and 86. That's a look at your weather forecast for Zeb at the Range.
Gina, thank you so much. And don't forget, brought to you by Don Scarrow and the crew at Scarro's Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. That telephone number again, 324-7657. They are changing the way we eat, one delicious bite at a time. Once again, I want to remind you that Dwayne Steiner was in a bad auto accident in Twin Falls a couple of weeks ago, and he was the owner of the Downtown Leather Works in Twin Falls. He's in St. Alphonsus going through a lot of medical trauma and a lot of expense, and I urge people to help contribute at the GoFundMe page, gofundme.com/Dwayne and Marianne Steiner. If you would do that, I would certainly appreciate it. A good guy, Dwayne Steiner. Want to remind you, too, about our great big corporate sponsor that is number one with us on Zeb at the Ranch, and that's your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. We couldn't do it without them. Absolutely the best. And they've got the best in tires for you. That's right. You need new tires for your car, your pickup, your SUV, or any kind of trailer, whatever. They've got the tires. They've got all the tread designs. They've got all the sizes. All you need to do is stop in and let them help you. Many of their tires are on sale to where you can save a lot of money. So you stop in, check the tires out, and also the best in brake service, front end alignments, shocks and struts, batteries, all of this and so much more at all 7 locations. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family and Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Trent on Overland in Burley. The best, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of you are going to be taking off this weekend and maybe making a full week of the 4th of July celebration of Independence Day, and I urge you to drive carefully wherever you're going. We've got a lot of things we're going to be doing over the next couple of days, but we will be back here on Monday at 8:06 right here on Zeb at the Ranch, where we always say the way things were are the way things ought to be, and the world needs more cowboys. My buddy Wheel is going to play a couple of extra tunes so we can get on the road and go to Lunch Bunch. God bless you and have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you Monday.